Sandra is like something that Brian really likes to play, which is Kosatka, their mid laner. This is like a very, very like ironclad mentality draft. Like supportive bot lane, a carry jungler, Feb on his comfort, and a mid laner who can like shove out and help Wibbly like get ahead.
Cassante. It seems like the premier rune for Jax because there's a lot of fighting that happens top lane. I don't
Hmm.
know how it's gonna interact with Gragas because I think Gragas is very, very
Minions
content
have
with
spawned.
not giving you those stacks, and he can just heal up through all of your combat and all the fighting.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult for a Jax to get on top of the Gragas as well, like to hit him, because whenever you try to like leap strike onto him, like he just body slams you and walks away with phase rush.
But yeah, we're gonna see. Wukong's not starting top side. He's actually gonna start bot side. So a lot of the attention is gonna be directed towards that top side scuttle and potentially top lane. Um, or unless Wibbly's gonna go for something cheesy, do his red buff into Krugs into chickens and then gank bot lane at level 3.
I think like I'm not entirely certain what Wibbly is gonna do, but I can be pretty confident in saying that like I think Bed's gonna like full clear to top, at least like from what I have seen him play. I wouldn't be too surprised if Wibbly does the same and just like tries to contest top lane because like I think in an early 2v2, like Jax should be able to push out like the Gragas and get like Cryo in his lane. Although I'm not entirely certain how that matchup goes, so I could be completely wrong.
Well, we're gonna see. It looks like Twitch is getting push in mid lane, which is not what I expected into Lissandra. I imagine her training pattern is a lot better, but he seems to be controlling this wave extremely well, and that roam's coming in, getting that ward on the brush for blue side jungle to avoid any topside Lilia ganks.
Yeah, I think like it's just a bit about like the players as well, right? Like Erens is just one of like the best players that we have in UN. Like very aggressive, very balls to the walls. So like he's just gonna go in aggressively against like Kosatka, whose job in like the team is just to like chill out and support Wibbly, So I think like even if the matchup isn't necessarily supposed to go like this, I think it makes sense why it is with like the certain players. Although I think like in the first few levels, Twitch probably does actually outtrade the Lissandra with these, like so it's probably difficult for her to get shoved. Like
Yeah,
until like she gets a few levels into her
that
ability.
that hail of blades is probably making a massive difference as well because he lands
Yeah,
those
for
3
sure.
autos and immediately presses E. The hail of blades gets proc. The glacial path comes through. She can't really do anything. She just sort of sit there and she's just ticking and taking all that true damage. Even in that
Wibbly
wave,
has taken the scuttle, but he's been spotted on the ward that was placed by Rens. He's looking mid. Wukong's headed there as well. It seems like he had to skip Raptors to be there on time. But yeah, Wibbly just walks by. Seems like he's gonna get to double scuttle bed without any difficulty at all. Bed
yeah,
just
that
recalling. He seems to have taken his Raptors, yeah.
yeah, it seems like
Uh,
the Wukong's finished his first clear, and he can't really do anything because he's been beat to the punch on the first scuttle, and they know he's outside or at least cleared his top side. And
yeah.
Watley's just gonna have to walk this out. They got hit by the mantra Q, but it doesn't do anything. Syndra's probably gonna be forced to back though. She doesn't have TP. One of the side effects of not playing an ADC bot lane and not having TP and having to run cleanse.
Yeah, Wibbly was able to do that because, like, even though his mid lane was shoved in, like, both his side lanes had the shove. So, like, Vedomu couldn't really do much because neither Yuna nor, like, Frostmith could really rotate out.
Yeah, because he goes bot lane and the bot lane rotates into the river, or he goes top side and top lane rotates. Um,
Ooh, Kosatka looking pretty low. I guess Harvey gets to shove out another wave and reset with, like, an advantage.
we should see what this
Uh,
Twitch builds because they might. There's a possibility that he goes AP and he's just going the long sword for early laning power.
that could be it. But I would imagine then wouldn't you just go like Doran's split? I guess maybe he wants to sustain from the triple potions.
Because I have seen Twitch builds that actually stop at Tiamat for the wave clear.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware that's a thing people do.
But yeah,
Bedomo
no, it's
is
just gonna.
looking to move top here. Maybe he. Okay, no, he just walks towards his frogs. I think he had a ward in there that Bedomo cleared out. I think I saw like his vision ticker go up. So good ward from Feb. I think that helps Wibbly spot out Bedomo. And they're both like just been matching each other so far. Nothing too exciting has happened besides the double scuttle.
Oh, the ult comes in, the spray and pray, and she's burning. She's ticking in mid lane. We're gonna see if she actually ends up dying for this, or if you manage to get the E off. But the Twitch passive stacks expires. Lily's gonna blast her
Lilia's
over the
coming in
wall.
from behind
Yeah,
him.
she's walking up behind him. Let's see if she
Lissandra
lands
has
the
ult.
slow and the sleep. The flash ult comes through the
Oh,
cleanse. Meanwhile, in bot lane, there's another bit of trading as Twitch is just gonna walk it out as if nothing happened.
that was a clean cleanse flash from Harvey. I don't think I would have ever been able to do that.
Yeah, it's a very weird spot to be caught in. He saw blood in the water there, trying to kill Lissandra on her own turret, and Wibbly actually trying to make his way around into the first blood of this game. It's been about 7 minutes, but he walked it out, and that's actually quite impressive. I can see what you mean by one of the stronger players in the side, managing to cleanse that sleep and root as well.
So despite the early dominance from the side lanes of ICM, it's actually PCS who have vision control around the first dragon at the moment. Vibli is bot side, and they have vision on it through Hawkshot. Not entirely certain, like if anything's gonna happen there though. I think both sides will probably just like try to get as much vision as they can, and then like chill out until like they have more items. I believe.
Well, if we're taking a look at the items, it seems like pieces can actually contest for this a lot easier. Wukong is still bot side, and it is going to pass bot side as well, as the Mantra W is going to come through and the Scatter the Weak sort of dissuades that engage, and Jen is going to Tornado and walk it away. See, it's pretty easy to hit those tornadoes, it seems.
Yeah.
Especially when they have to run into you. You can just
Yeah.
throw it in the direction you're going.
Yeah, I think that was pretty well played by both like Jensen and Kargili. Like very calm. They didn't like blow anything unnecessarily. Like they didn't like flash, cleanse, exhaust, anything like that. So you know,
Now,
ICM don't really gain anything from that gank except like showing
Awesom's
Vibli.
bot lane still. Meanwhile, we have trading in top side. The counter strike's going to come in. The Gragas phase rush is going to proc. He's just going to throw a casket and just walk away. And he's going to manage to get this top wave in.
There seems to be like a decent like CS advantage building up for like it's looks bigger than it is because like Feb's catching like a pretty big wave, but it's still like about 2 waves worth, I want to say.
Yeah, almost 3 actually.
They
Or
seem to be
2 waves
taking
in
care of
Canada, yeah.
PCS. Like both Yuna and Harvey were able to shove out their lanes and like get Berumu the pressure he needed to get the Herald.
And this all starts because of mid lane. This Twitch is just not allowing this Lissandra to move. So that means Lily has to cover a lot of the dives. As the Glacial Path comes in, she's going to try and land that Ring of Frost. Arins is just going to dodge the Sleepy Seed from Lydia and going to probably walk back to lane and see if he can probably get this under.
Yeah, Harvey's just playing this game out so well. Like just constant pressure. He's been getting vision across to like constantly spot Wibbly. Been able to like help out his jungler many times. It's just crazy.
And meanwhile, this bot lane is, even though they're down CS, it's to be expected from a double mage bot lane into an AD carry, Enchanter. But this bot lane's very, very stable at the moment. She's actually
Yeah,
building towards that Seraph's Embrace.
I mean the amount of sustain like the Ash went, like it's crazy to like for Syndra to be able to do anything at all. Especially since like the mini rework where like they kinda gutted her early stun. But yeah, like the Ash went like first item Vamp Scepter. She went Biscuits in her runes. And
As,
she went to Vamp.
meanwhile, we have
Oh,
an
wait,
engaged top side.
530.
The Lilia and Twitch, the Ring of Frost and the Frozen Tomb is going to come in, and Twitch is going to clean up and grab the first blood as Jax is going to come in and actually jump on top of the Wukong that's been stunned. Can he get out of this? If he's next to the wall, he can get the W. It's Gragas flash E, and he's just going to walk away from this. It's first blood and no trade in response. As even though Wibbly's been getting a really good start to this game, it doesn't seem like he can carry that over into any of his lanes.
Yeah, that like differential in like the mid lane is like really starting to show. Like earlier during the Herald play, when Yuna and Harvey were able to like push out their lanes, they actually went in for like a really deep ward on Yuna's blue buff, and that allowed them to, get this first blood.
Yeah, really, really impressive is in top side, Feb's not having any of it. He's gonna respond by getting a solo kill of his own. Um, Yuna probably should have just left at that moment because now he's stuck with the frozen wave. He does have TP and he is Gragas, so he can probably fix it. Um,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
think
talk,
all of the advantage that Yuna had built up until that point just disappears. That was a pretty good flash from Feb to avoid the cast, and he got rewarded with a solo kill for it.
yeah, but Twitch gets rewarded with a Herald in mid lane, which is gonna hit plates. I don't think it's gonna take first turret. Um, there's still 3 minutes to get the rest of those plates in mid. Um, as the first drag is actually going to start getting taken, and Lydia's going to try and fish for this, but they have no vision in the pits. They can't see anything. That Ash Eagle's going to come through, and they see that's about 3,000. It might be a flip here as 4 people are bot side, but actually Yuna's top bot side as well, so it's actually a 5v4. Let's see what happens. The smite comes in, the Ring of
Oh,
Frost
the
comes through,
two-man Syndra stun.
and the Syndra
Oh,
ult, and the Twitch spray and pray comes in clutch
that
as
was
they
really
get
well
the
played
second
by
kill and a
Jensen.
dragon. Now,
Same as
even though
yesterday, he's just picking people out.
yeah, it's actually really, really hard to play into this comp until you guys scale up a bit. You can see the power of that Ash and Karma not actually getting their desired win con. Because ideally you want to be pushing the other bot lane out of lane and getting that early vision control. But if you look at the drag pit, it's just control wards and pink or yellow wards everywhere there. And there's not a single blue ward in sight. Um, so it's really, really hard for this Lilia to get into the pit and for them to actually get what they want.
The room is just looking to clear again. Herald spawns in roughly, I believe, 2 minutes. The first one was taken around like 9 minutes, right?
Yeah,
So
it's.
yeah,
I
two
don't
to
think
three
it's gonna.
minutes from now.
I don't think it's gonna spawn in time to get 2 more plates, but I do think it'll spawn in time for us to get another turret potentially. Looks like this mid lane turret's very, very unhealthy. It's on shaky legs. Um,
These days, like after the changes to Rift Herald, it honestly doesn't even matter if you don't get the plates because just like getting the Herald itself gives you like 300 gold.
yeah,
And later on, like with how squishy the second turrets are, like the tier 2 turrets, it's like most certainly worth taking it.
as a
Oh,
pause is gonna come through. Seems like Feb
Feb's
has DC.
experiencing
Yeah,
some lag. Yeah.
but yeah,
Overall, like PCS seem to be looking like they're in a really good spot in the game at the moment. I think they're very happy.
it's
Uh,
a it's a very controlled and slow lead as they're only about 800 gold ahead. Um, But this Wukong is getting a lot more value out of his money than Lilia is, it seems like. He's actually finished that Divine Sundra and he's gotten his free boots.
yeah, honestly, it's not like just about the goal lead, but like how it must be feeling to play from the side of ICM, right? Their mid lane is just constantly shoved in. Their jungler has been spotted wherever he goes. Their bot lane, like, even though early on they were able to shove out and help Wibbly get the double scuttle, they were not able to get or clear the vision that was provided by PCS's bot lane on the Dragon. Then, when they tried to approach them, they unfortunately died despite blowing their summoners. I think, like, even though the goal lead is pretty small, it probably feels a lot worse in the game than just like an 800 goal difference.
It genuinely does. About 5 minutes ago, the CS difference between the Ash and the Syndra was about 20 CS. And now it's narrowed to within 6 in favor of the Syndra. Um,
I wonder if Wibbly will be just able to sneak this out. Like it seems like it. Oh,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
getting a little bit of flag. We'll figure out what happens soon enough.
I bet Wukong goes and smites it. That's my suggestion. That's
Yeah,
my prediction. Wukong goes and smites red buff. and Lilia runs away very, very sad.
A summoner has disconnected.
Oh, it's back, the game. Seems like I've been told it's just like a pause bug.
Yeah, it seems like it's a client-side thing. As this Twitch is just gonna keep going. He gets those 6 stacks on Lissandra in mid lane.
I caught like a bit of the Lilia at the end, and it seems like she got the red buff without like even having to fight the Wukong for it.
Yeah, it
is
does seem
surprising.
like she's made it up. She's actually taken a lot of more Wukong's farm than he has taken this entire game, which is reflected in that CS difference. But it doesn't feel like it feels like Bedoma is the richest man on the Rift at the moment. The way these objectives are just falling in favor of BCS, the TP's on the come. As the Gragas is gonna go, and this Ashe is not long for this world. As Frostmouth is just going to manage to push this wave in, as Bedoma is actually covering topside to make sure that they don't lose that topside turret.
Oh man, this just feels sad. Like, what are you even supposed to do as the Lissandra here? Earlier today, like in my solo queue games, I had a game where like I was playing Lux into Twitch mid, and like it was just a horrible feeling. Dude. You can't even walk outside your turret without the guy just like sneaking up behind you and screaming.
Yeah, especially, I know with AP Twitch it's worse, because Twitch would stack those Hail of Blades on you and get 6 stacks, and you're just taking 30 true damage every second. Over like what feels like 10 seconds, which is almost 300 damage.
Yeah, you can't even recall after you backed off from him. You just have to like wait like 5 seconds or more.
It feels like you're being perma-ignited, and that's it's not a good feeling at all.
Seems like Wibbly is moving in towards the Herald, but PCS just have like complete vision control of it. Like, I think it's going to be really difficult for ICM to contest this one. Because
Yeah,
their mid laner is like trying to shove out the wave, so is their top laner. I think this Herald is as good as PCS is.
It's the story of this game where Wibbly has been doing a really, really good job at securing resources for herself or themselves. But it's really, really hard to translate that into anything else, because top lane isn't winning hard enough in isolation, mid lane isn't winning, and bot lane isn't winning hard enough either. So
Honestly,
you can't
like,
really
while
shift them
top
around.
lane's winning, I think, like, despite the solo kill, Yuna's, like, looked to have complete control over the lane so far. He's been, like, moving in and out whenever he wants. And there hasn't been much Feb has been able to do about it so far.
That first turret's going to go down, and Shelly's just going to die before she gets a smack on the second one, it seems.
Harvey
as Twitch
tries
is
to
bot
make a
side, yeah.
rotation bot, but gets spotted out by the control ward. They're all preparing for the next dragon, which is coming up.
Yeah, in about 20 seconds it looks like. You can see the pings for TP coming through. Gragas doesn't have his TP up, and Jax does have his TP. So similar to that first drag, it's going to be a 5v4, but in favor of ICM this time.
Gragas
if they
just
can set
seems
up
to be
positions.
able to like push it out and like walk to the dragon though from what it looks like. He'll be a bit late, but he'll get there.
That Janna ult's going to come through, and the Wukong is going to jump on top. The Scatter of the Weak comes through, and Karma dies immediately. This is Jax TP comes through from bot lane. He's going to jump in with his Q. The Ashe arrow comes in and stuns the Wukong up. The counter strike's going to come through, and he's going to land a 2-man stun onto Frostmouth, and he's going to keep going. The actual Frozen Tomb comes through, and 3 people dying. Gragas can't really do anything. He's just walk up the pit, but Twitch is still alive. Twitch still has loads of damage, but he doesn't have Gale Force anymore. I think this Ashe is on the brink of death. That shield bow gets popped. Twitch is just trying to walk this out, but the Lissandra is going to Glacial Tube over, and she's going to Crystal Spike him in the face. And it seems like ICM's going to get this drag. Things are turning in their favor.
Honestly, looks like even though initially it started off as like a good fight for PCS where they like killed the Karma, they I think like overcommitted because they did not have Yuna there yet, and February 14th was able to teleport in and get in between those people. I think if they wanted to go for such a play, Yuna had to give up the wave and come earlier, recognizing that he didn't have teleport, or be vocal about it to his teammate that he was gonna be there.
Yeah, it felt like where PCS was in such control earlier, it kind of fell apart there as that Jax TB came in. They didn't kill the people they needed to kill fast enough, but they're just going to get the drag anyways.
Yeah, the ICM members ended up being too low to actually like be able to take it, right? Because the PCS members were coming up. Since it's early game, that time is decision.
As Gragas is going to ult the Lilia back into the rest of the team, the stun comes through. Wibbly cannot move as the glacial path comes through, and Lissandra is probably going to be next. She's going to frozen tomb herself, but I don't think it's enough. I think she's just going to drop dead. Yep, she drops dead immediately as Twitch is now sitting on 6 kills. Can we get a look at how much gold this Twitch has in comparison to this Lissandra?
I see him really like. Sorry, I was just saying like I see him really overcommitted in order to like try get that turret. They just weren't able to get it in time, and really good punish from PCS to like recognize that they don't like to go and like punish that right after they get the dragon. Because a lot of teams would just be like willing to like trade the turret for the dragon, but PCS recognize that they can get the dragon and contest for the turret.
Yeah, they might have lost the turret, but they gained almost 6 kills in a dragon there.
Yeah, it was like 3 kills, I think, overall.
Yeah, as the gold graph comes in, Twitch is almost 3,000 gold ahead of this Lissandra. It's 2,000 at the moment, but it's going to be a bit of a problem when come late game when that 2,000 gold adds up.
Yeah, Harvey's honestly just been taking over this game completely. Like, he's been able to foil Wibbly's plans the entire time with his, like, great, like, just shoving it in, the wave, and getting vision across the map. And just having, like, complete control over the map along with, like,
How do they win this? That's the real question. How does ICM win this? How do they turn the momentum and swing this 3,000 gold lead?
Have you seen that one game at 2017 Worlds where Reckless flashes in to the enemy like teams like inhibitor turret against
Yeah.
an Oriana as a Twitch that was really fed? Harvey needs
Yeah.
to pull off something like that.
Okay, yeah, just literally 1v9 Twitch performance, channel rat IRL it seems.
Yeah, just run it down, and I think ICM can win them.
Yeah, but that implies that the Twitch is gonna sprint it. Oh, as the fight's gonna actually start bot lane. It's a 1v2. The Jax is gonna pop Counter Strike, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. He's just stuck in the alcove as Rat's just firing at him, but he actually did decent damage, but it's not going to be enough. The Janus shielding is too much as Lissandra. Everfrost in top, or throws an Everfrost top side, throws the Frozen Tomb. She tries to make it out, but the Frost Maiden is not going to do it this time. But the
PC is just winning on like all sides of the map, really. Like, it's a really tough spot to be ICM at the moment.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to fish for these picks and sides, but it doesn't really matter when the side you're trying to pick is always weak side. Because Lissandra's trying to get farm top side, and that's all good and well, so you put the Jax bot side. But now Jax is 1v2 against the Twitch Janet. A Twitch that has Bork and Gale Force at this point, and Hail of Blades, plus Cleanse.
Honestly, like, look at the bot lane, right? Like the dragon side. PCS again have just complete vision over it off of the pick they gained off of like Feb. They're playing really well in the sense that they're capitalizing on their picks as much as they can each time. Whenever like anyone gets any advantage in their lane or the side lane, they move up and get vision around the objective. And I've found that like very lacking in the past UNLs where like people will just get an advantage and then be content with that advantage. PCS are really shoving it in and letting ICM know that they are the ones in control of the game.
Yeah, if you look at bot side, there's a ward almost all the way at the red side jungle entrance.
It's just
on the
impossible
other side
for
track, yeah.
them to approach, honestly.
Switching on the top side, I think he's fishing for something, but he's going to get slept. He's going to get put to sleep. He's going to get stunned, but he's going to cleanse Gale Force, get himself out of there. As he's going to get double kill, and he's going to be run down by the Ashe, it seems. But he has a Cinder right next to him. As Gragas is just going to get solo bolo on top side. As Ashe,
This is just, this just feels so.
yeah, a lot of
sad.
really low health bars, but no cigars. This Ashe is just going to start ticking, burning to death as the Scat of the Week comes in and finishes her off.
very well
it's
played
really
again from
focused.
Harvey to just have the confidence to be able to like open up like that against like three members in his face to like
Yeah.
have the confidence to be able to cleanse and flash out and gain close up if he needed to. PCS just seemed to like get Baron off of this. They can't really contest ICM. The best they can hope is to get like the dragon and some vision around it, but doesn't seem like PCS scared.
Yeah, that Baron's gonna go. That Baron's gonna go down. They don't have enough time to get to this dragon. Miss Wukong's gonna part topside. Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. Getting that topside turret to punish the pick at the dragon. It is Hextech Soul, but I don't think Hextech Soul matters that much on ICM side. If PCS ends up getting Hextech Soul, there's so many ways to proc it, and that extra attack speed on a Twitch that's already building attack speed. It's gonna get pretty scary very, very quickly. As objective
I think
bounty
the
is
biggest thing from it is just that PCS can get out onto the map so much faster with those hex tech gates. I feel like that's the biggest advantage you get from that rift, right?
yeah,
Where
the worst.
you can
Your
really
worst
like
nightmare.
just be on the map all the time.
Genuinely your worst nightmare, being unable to get objectives or set up your own objectives, and then being there first. Yeah, it's just bleeding slowly at the moment.
No,
But there's
Harvey,
still
just
time to.
let him be, man.
This Twitch is
Maybe?
monstrous. he's gonna get put to
Man, he
sleep.
doesn't even die.
As the TPs come through as well. Yeah,
It's just too much for ICM to deal with. They're just too far behind. It doesn't really matter what PCS do at this point. Like they take any fight, they just win.
and they do have
Harvey
a
is
wave
too
bot
fed.
side.
Yuna's too fed. Wukong's unkillable. Genuinely though, like who kills the Wukong? Like the O for Ash with shields though?
I think they can end here. They have a wave bot side. Unless the Sandwich suicides for the wave, but I think this game's pretty much over. As yeah, the Glacial team's gonna come through defensively, and the Zonian, so she's gonna walk away. But Wukong is not having any of that. He's just gonna jump and give her a bit of a bonk, as they're all just
Clean
dying under
flash
their own
from
turrets.
Yuna
Yeah.
there to get the body slam. But
Yeah,
wow,
as
that
this-
was a very quick one. PCS played really fucking well that game, man. They honestly were like really clean and just kept pushing their lead at
Yeah.
every stage. They did not hesitate. Very aggressive,